In 1997, during an electronic entertainment exposition, the character Conker was introduced by the British Rareware. The game that Conker was in was called Conker's Quest at the time. It was considered another platforming game aimed at a younger audience. Rare originally desired for Conker to be a friendly character, to be aimed at the child demographic of gamers that Nintendo had made the most of its success of during the mid to late 1990s. Despite the fact that the character was later aimed at an older gaming demographic group, the most well-known example of this being Bad Fur Day, which had mixed reviews from gamers and critics. What's forgotten is the original intentions and depictions of the character Conker the Squirrel. After the introduction of the character, his first appearance had him being included as a selectable character in Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo 64 being released in 1997. Rare did use this opportunity for the character for his eventual new franchise of games at the time to be later made. His first solo game was called Conker's Quest. But as time progressed, changes were made to the game. It was rebranded 12 Tales Conker 64. In 1999, Conker's Pocket Tales was developed and released for the Game Boy Color, as this was the last time he was depicted in a game with his cheerful original personality and appearance. After the release of Pocket Tales, Conker 64 was still being developed. Critics and gamers reacted neutrally to Pocket Tales. It did not give any player of it anything definitive of Conker. The game dealt with Conker as he retrieves his stolen birthday presents and rescues his girlfriend of Berry, whom had been kidnapped by the evil acorn. The idea of a hero going to save his love interest was already done many times prior, and critics complain about Conker being nothing more than another stereotypical, cheerful anthropomorphic character. But the game was still in development as it was completely remade into what's now known as Conker's Bad Fur Day, released in 2001. Everything about the game and character of Conker was completely reimagined, but the game suffered from a combination of poor sales due to the child-friendly nature of the Nintendo 64 and the game being released so late in the Nintendo 64 console's lifespan. When the character was introduced, his appearance was also different, wearing no gloves, a blue and yellow shirt, and Converse sneakers. This appearance was used in Diddy Kong Racing and Pocket Tales, but changed in Bad Fur Day. Conker also met Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie in Diddy Kong Racing, but as depicted in an Xbox commercial, he didn't recognize him as it was a possible reference to the character being chronologically wiped from anything prior to Bad Fur Day in terms of a history from Rareware. Prior to Bad Fur Day, Conker's origin isn't explained much by Rare, but it is known that he had met Diddy Kong sometime during his adventures, so it's theorized that it might have been during the Donkey Kong Country series of games, even though chronologically he was never seen before Diddy Kong Racing. According to information presented, Conker was always a light-hearted and polite, as his parents raised him in a strict home, teaching him to never drink alcohol, urinate in public as he was an animal, or be materialistic. During this time, he met a girl named Berry, and the two made a relationship with one another. Conker's girlfriend of Berry, as she would have been originally introduced in Conker 64 had it been completed, with her original appearance and personality, had her being that of a small light brown chipmunk with brown hair, who was roughly of the same physical stature as Conker. Her outfit was similar to that of a schoolgirl, and in the game she was planning a birthday party for Conker but was kidnapped by the evil acorn, and the presents that she had got for Conker were also stolen by the villain, as this was an important theme of Pocket Tales. Despite the changes of Conker by Rareware, from a child-friendly character to a more mature character, Conker was never considered popular in either case. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because they were changed from being cute and innocent to being depressed and angry.